Hey everybody, it's Mike Venus, Lost Soul, and I'm back. And this is one of the Pinocchios, one of the Ariels that I was speaking of, Bolo the producer. And he's a gatekeeper, he's a salesman. And in this video, he's not making any fucking sense. And I watched the whole video, but I had to get this clip because in the video, he's trying to compare the NPC sample to the iPad. Now, I know recently I've been speaking about the iPad. I've been demonstrating music that I made on my iPad using Ableton Note, a $10 app. And that $10 also includes buying the app, buying the full version of Ableton Drift, which is a synthesizer that you can have full-fledged. You can say the presets, everything. And with that purchase of the app, which is about like $6, right? That you can only use on the Apple products, so that's the iPhone or the iPad. You get a license of Ableton Lite, the recent version, right? So you can take your idea that you crafted on the iPad, and when you want to arrange it out, if you want to, you can do the whole thing on the iPad if your beat's pretty like straightforward. But if you want to use the arranger, you can send it through Ableton Cloud to your laptop if you got one, and arrange it out in that with that DAW, which is Ableton Lite, and you can export it and upload it. His argument is that he believes, which this is all marketing. When I say marketing, he's a salesman. This is his job. The argument isn't invalid that if you have an iPad, I got an iPad mini. It's roughly around the same price as the sample. I have an iPad Air. Most people, for the most part, will have an iPad or an iPhone. And I made music off my phone before too. Right? Now his argument is that iPad music sounds thin. Now it's funny. Complex did a poll a few years back and stated that Madlib, who's a far better producer, far more successful than Bolo. I mean, Bolo, he got that one record that's Diamond or whatever. So he kind of used that as his way to gain people's confidence that he's someone that is of a higher stature within the industry. And because he's on social media, he has a more visible presence than someone like Madlib, who rarely be on social media, rarely does interviews. But he did tracks that were on Kanye's album. He did Freddie Gibbs' album. And in that interview, they were like, what did you use? He said, I used the iPad. I've been doing that for, at that time when he did the video, he said he'd been doing it for over a decade. And these projects were published, even nominated for Grammys. So what are we talking about, bro? You're not making any sense, bro. You're trying to sell this product. Now, this is the thing. This is the misconception. When I proposed that idea that, hey, if you already got an iPad, just buy this, try, using some of the software that's on the iPad. You know what I'm saying? An iPad is a little bit more inconspicuous. Now he got a Pro, but I'm using a Mini. And once you buy it on one iPad and it's connected to your account, you can I can put it on the Air, which I had on the Air before I got the Mini. He's not really like disputing any of the arguments that I presented about the iPad being probably a better choice than buying something like maybe the Move, the Ableton Move, or the Teenage Engineers K2s, KO2, or Medieval One, or any other of these like miniature devices. And it's all marketing because at the end of the day, people consume music primarily off of their phones, their iPads. They're not listening to them over like big speakers or out, at like big venues. And it all sounds the same, to be honest. You know, because more or less they're using the same shit, bro. It's nothing. It's nothing like. There's no difference between the shit that you're gonna the sounds and quality you're gonna get out of that sample from the iPad. It literally sounds the same. If anything that I've noticed, just off of the sound of the sample, the MPC sample, is that these people have to like literally have it on full volume. When I had the MPC live, too, if I did any videos using the speaker, I had to crank that shit almost to max. And it sounds just as digital as the shit that come off of a phone or an iPad. So what are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. And plus, why would companies be invested in either a subscription base or just a one-time buy of iOS music production software if the move is hardware or gear or whatever? And honestly, if you really that serious, if and you're not a hobbyist, you really trying to get serious, you might as well save up your money and get the flagship. Because I don't understand why would someone settle for this sample, NPC sample, when you could save a few more $100 and buy out the flagship. And this is all marketing, you know what I'm saying? And this is what I was saying, like his opinion or his statements, he's been compromised because his goal is to sell product. If it's the sample, if it's the cases, or any other piece of gear that he gets from a company, or if he has a check from them, or if it's a software company, like when he was doing the AI bullshit and trying to flip it and have his audience think like this is the route. He's gatekeeping, bro. Ain't nobody in the pros using that shit, bro. Unless they got a bag, or they got one free, and they just playing with it. But where the records at, bro? That's how we gonna really we really gonna see. Let's see if you make a hit with that little sample, not the flagship, not the other flagships they done blessed you with. With that little toy, cause it sounds like a toy, bro. It sounds like a toy, and it's very limited. And then one of his angles is updates. If the software isn't having bugs, which Akai has a history of bugs. That's why my force is sitting up in the shelf because that shit, all these updates they keep doing, it brings more bugs. It was more bugs on the live. And the iPad, you can have far more gigabytes of RAM than this little toy. It's only 2 gigabytes of RAM. No different from the previous models of the Live 1, Live 2, you know what I'm saying? The X, the first one, the Force. What are we talking about, bro? These newer NPCs, I will if I was to advise anybody, if you really want an NPC, get you one of the older ones. Make sure it's legit, whoever's selling it, and that is you make sure you refurbish it up if it needs it. That's gonna be a better investment than these newer ones, because these newer ones ain't nothing but cheap, low quality computers inside of a MIDI controller. This video was made because I threw that idea out months ago, probably about a month ago. And now it's getting people thinking. So now him and others who are part of this salesman crew, they're going to start trying to spin the narrative in a passive aggressive way because you're not making any sense, bro. Nobody, like, I wouldn't go and buy a iPad Pro. You don't need a Pro to make music. You can get a mini. You can get the regular iPad. You can get the Air. And the shit gonna sound just like the shit in the DAW. Just like on that device. Because of the fact that it's all the same shit. It's basically digital. It's not gonna hit like those old records, and he's talking about he has to, you still have to enhance it. That's the problem, bro. You trying to sell something that isn't going to give a person straight out the box pro quality and sound. It's all workflow. It's all this and that. It's if we're dealing with music production, this is the thing that most people don't want to talk about online. We talking about music production. We talking about sound, and it doesn't sound good. And if it does, it's being beefed up with other shit to make it sound good, which most people don't have access to who's going to purchase this. Now, they buying it just to be like a little sketch pad or whatever when they traveling. Cool. That's what it's for. But if I was trying to take this serious, hopefully people are trying to take it serious. If I'm coming from that angle, I would not invest in no $400 device that's probably going to age out within a year or two when it comes with something else. Stop it. You playing yourself, bro. You have how has the mighty have fallen? Bro, you have fallen. You went from pushing iPad beat production, which was one of your earlier videos that kind of got you, you know, notice on YouTube, to now you're shitting on it. But then in the same video, you're praising how great this software and device is, but then your argument is that it sounds thinner compared to what you hold in the NPC sample, which that's your job to sell. But everybody I've seen that isn't running it through like their compressors or their outboard gear like EA Ski to boost it, which they gave him one. Or anybody else, they cranking that shit to the max. You know what I'm saying? So more or less, you're going to end up blowing out the little toy speaker on there. And it sounds just as the same quality as trying to make music on your phone without headphones. And it really depends on what you're talking about. Able to all them instrumentals. I haven't done anything to it to enhance it. I just craft it. It sounds good coming off the iPad. I listen to it even on Bluetooth speakers or headphones when I'm playing my game and stuff to hear it, and it sounds just as it would if I was playing it on that or on the iPad, phone, whatever. I don't know what you think you know or what you've been told, but all this shit sounds the same, bro. It's really about the whole thing with the iPad is that if you already have one, or if you planning to get one, I think it would be a better option than buying this because more or less you're gonna buy this, you and when it dates out, which a lot of the recent NPCs or the stuff that Akai has been making, when it dates out, and that's usually sooner than later, it's hard to flip. And I don't see no difference between that or using a computer or an iPad. So what are we talking about, bro? Stop it. That's what I'm saying. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? And no, like I said, I target anybody that's talking some nonsense. And this is the video. You can check it out. NPC sample or iPad for music production. Why would he just magically start talking about this if people haven't been asking him or questioning him on this subject, and yet his response, he doesn't have a good debate outside of that. He believes that it's the sound and that you gonna pay all this money to get an iPad and to buy all these apps. And not every app you have to buy. Some are free. You buy an iPad, you get GarageBand. If you want to update to Logic Pro, get the full version of that, which is literally sounds the same, give you a little bit more features. You paying a subscription, which he pushed that. I don't use Logic Pro. With the Ableton app, it's one and done. I get a free Ableton Lite version of the latest software they have. It can be updated as updates are brought out. And I already have a computer. So if I want to arrange it out or do some more stuff to it, I can just send it to my computer over the cloud, Ableton Cloud. Now, if I want to transfer tons of stuff, I have to pay for that, but you can send so many before you even start paying. So where's the logic in that? There is none. And what he's saying about, oh, the sample is the better way to go. The NPC sample is a better buy. It's $400. An iPad is 15. Yeah, if you're buying the Pro, you don't need the Pro to make music with the iPad. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Stop playing with me. Talking about people. Stop playing with me and stop playing with people that's talking the truth about this whole thing, bro. This goes back to what I said before. A lot of you niggas is a bunch of just salesmen. You trying to position yourself to be A&Rs and gatekeepers. Either you sent here by your handlers, Geppetto, you been Ursula, or you're trying to, find this as a way to scam people talking about, and he even said this before about lion share. If that's why I never suggested, or I wouldn't suggest anybody to pay for someone to listen to your music to say, yeah, it's good or not. And he's like, oh, well, if I connect it to somebody and I get it placed, I want the lion's share. He's a scammer, bro. He's a finesser, and he's finessing anybody that actually listens to him. I'm not subscribed to this dude. When I saw his content starting to turn like that, I had unsubscribed from him because he doesn't know what he's talking about. And a lot of shit he says, script or non-script, mainly when he's non-scripted, is ludicrous and easy to be debunked So he probably gonna spend it saying I'm a hater or some shit. Bro, believe what you want to believe. I don't fucking care. But we all know you capping, bro. You bullshitting, and you also wearing a dunce cap because you was a. This is buffoonery at the highest level. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? Stop it. And if you really that nice on this, make a record that actually place or whatever. None of that as it is, and let's see, because you made records with the iPad, but let's see what you do with this toy, this MP sample. And I'll call it that. If you're really serious about music production, you might want to go for the flagship or go for an older MPC before it was bought out by InMusic. Because all those, the ones from the was it MPC Touch forward, they're not good. They're not good. And I had the X, Force, Live 2, so I know. And I'm letting you know, it doesn't sound no different from an iPad. It's really no different from an iPad with all this touchscreen shit. And you can save yourself money, headaches, and all this stuff, and just get that. And it's not more or less whatever you buy on your app, whatever you choose to use. It's probably not going to be as buggy as those devices, which a lot of them don't say that, but they are. That's why they keep pushing the update shit. So, get smarter. Use your money wisely, and